Do la parola a Jan van der Putten, che è segretario generale dell'EFCA.
Doesn't seem to work. Sorry, the remote control isn't working.
Qualcuno che può spiegare come funziona?
Un attimo, ho dato sempre la presentazione adesso.
Ah, ok, arriva, qualche secondo.
So good morning, everyone. So I'm happy to hear and listen to the speeches and saying that this industry must change the mindset. Up to now, too much emphasis has been given to input-oriented business. What we want and what the market wants is output-oriented business. Results, that is what clients are paying for. Clients request solutions, no problems, just solutions. And how these solutions are provided, they don't care. We as engineering consultancy industry, we should be one-stop shop. Whatever the client requires, we should be able to deliver. So we need to get away from that old-fashioned approach of being a silo approach, bringing technical solutions. No, the technical solutions today are much more complex. They are embedded in an environment with sociological implications and so on and so forth. So what we need to bring to the market is the right solutions. Within EFCA, we're also dwelling on the market, and this has been triggered by the recent crisis that we are still facing. So we were wondering how do we anticipate the market to evolve in the next 6 months? And once we get there, how did our expectations meet the reality? So we created some kind of a barometer. So you can understand it's not a scientific approach, it's more like a gut feeling. And a gut feeling based on very simple things. But if we look at the engineering consultancy sector, and I've been asked to dwell particularly on 5 countries, and I've put the UK in red because they're not a member of EFCA. But anyway, just to give you an idea, you see that the size of the market is not in accordance with the size of the country. You will also see that the fragmentation of the market is enormous. If you look in Germany, for example, that within our own federation, and our own federation VBI in Germany is only representing part of the market, there are already 2008 companies listed. So this is, we need to bear in mind that it is a very fragmented industry still. But coming back to what Fleming was explaining us, we need to get away from this profession approach towards a business approach, where we try to cater different services to the market. What are the actual developments in turnover? If we look at the results in 2014, you will see that the countries indicated in green have increased in turnover, where the yellow ones remained stable and the red ones decreased. So you see that there is a slow upturn in the market in terms of turnover. The order stock, that's another headache. France is blank because we haven't had any input, but those figures should evolve around the figures that we get from other countries. And we see that there is a slight upturn also again in order stock. And those figures that you can see there are expressed in months. So for Germany, in 2013, there was an order stock of 7 months on average, whereas in 2014, it went up to 10 months order stock. And here you can see it in a picture, what that means. So, but it's still rather gloomy. We are not there yet. Crisis is still there and public investments are low. What is the profit ratio? That's interesting, especially for company leaders. Well, first of all, as a upfront remark, I would like to say that the profit ratio is measured as earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. On average, the European profit ratio in 2014 was 5.6% of total turnover, and that includes Germany. But when we extract Germany, you will see that the strongest ratio figures was 5.2 down to 5.8 in 2013 and from 5.4% in 2012. We have also included some figures which forecast the economic growth in 2015, and those figures come from the European Commission. Now, the good points for the moment are that oil remains low in price and relatively cheap. The euro has continued to depreciate. The ECB has made major efforts in quantitative easing, and that has had a strong effect. And the fiscal policies are also supportive. I'm not going to dwell on all these figures in detail. You will get the presentation later on. If we look at the threatening factors, we see that there is still a geopolitical tension with Russia. High unemployment rates across Europe, and there is still debt and deficit. If we look at these figures, you will see that even for the future, unemployment remains a major concern. On debt and deficit, things don't really change much. If we're going from a profession to a business, then we should also look at the new and growing sectors in which we can become active. And we have identified a number of them. First one is climate adaptation. I was 2 weeks ago in a climate and business summit in Paris with big company leaders like Texaco, Alstom was there, well, all big world players. Everyone today is talking about climate change. How shall we monitorize CO2 emissions, for example, among business? And how will that impact on our international market? Shall South Africa be taxed the same way as Germany, for example? So these are big questions that are on the table and that will recur at the COP21 meeting in Paris again at the end of the year. Leisure and tourism, we all know what the impact of leisure and tourism is on national economies. Transport and infrastructure. We know that our cities are growing constantly and are attracting more and more people. So transport and infrastructure are becoming increasingly important. How will our mobility look like in 10, 15 years? How will that impact on the city? Communications and IT. Smart infrastructure, for example, communications and IT. How shall we work with those new technologies in future, and how will that impact on our life? But also healthcare, with the aging of the population. And with aging of population and growing population, town planning and renewable energy will also grow increasingly. What are the trends seen in the EU market? The situation in 2010 and the situation in 2015. Well, we see that the effect of the new project delivery methods impact on new business opportunities and new clients, that we have new roles in the changing supply chain, that there is more fiscal strength for hire and other risks, and potentially more conflicts and interests. We looked at models that we could think of as companies on where should we go with our company. What is our future? Should we continue our business as we are today? And then we have the main project delivery models. We have the traditional design, bid, build. We have the integrated management. We have integrated design and engineering. We have integrated design and building. And we have finance, design and building. Those are different roles. Here we recapped all the roles that one can play in the players within the project. It's just to give you, to remind you of all the design stages and where the engineering consultancy can play a role. Do we know what expectations our clients have? That's a very key question. And who are our clients? They are developers, owners, utility firms, design build contractors, banks, ladies and gentlemen, financiers are increasingly becoming our clients. Be aware of that. Insurers, public clients and private clients. Do we know what we want and what we can? That's another question that you need to ask yourself as a business. Which roles do we want to play? For what clients and in what kind of relation? Which roles can we play? And with what kind of risks and liabilities can we live? What is the size needed of our company? And what new skills do we need in order to satisfy the upcoming expectations that we have set in front of us? What are the future demands and skills for the management of professionals? Now, first of all, there is design skills for high-performance systems. We can think about passive housing, retrofitting of existing buildings, and so on and so forth. Management skills for international processes. Social skills and behavioral demands. Those are becoming increasingly important for companies, especially if they want to go abroad. If you don't possess language skills, well, you're partly out of the game because you cannot communicate in an appropriate way. But also teamwork skills, as we heard this morning. All those different skills working together towards one common goal, a solution for the client. Business skills for external processes. And then finally, communication skills and languages. Now, we recapped all these things in this graph. So you can take a look at it at ease. It's rather small print. I don't think you can see it from the room. EFCA has a holistic vision, and we believe that the European engineering consultancy industry has to play a strategic role in the development of a sustainable and livable Europe, but also in the economic growth and welfare of the European Union and in the global engineering business. But we all must bear in mind that working on a sustainable society, come on, needs leadership and vision. So what we're trying to say is that models today are vital to the business you will be in tomorrow. Dwell about it. This is the right time to think about it. Business is critical today, and we heard it also in Italy. The business models may not respond to the needs of the clients, and perhaps they should be revisited. Thank you.